struggling?
The issue of inclusivity is actually, for me, the weakest point in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance political matrix. And indeed, the issues that Deputy President Gachagua, the points he has been raising, sometimes those points baffle some of us. Mm-hmm. If you look at what is on the ground, the truth is on the issue of inclusivity. Yes, I know that the national government is supposed to, through the presidency, arrange and plan whatever and how they feel the agenda is going to be, because the manifesto was already saying what they're going to do. Then the Kenya Kwanza Alliance comes in. If we sit in this studio here today and get the list of the people that the president has appointed to the critical positions, it's dumbfounding. Even President Moi never did what has just been done by the KK Alliance government. Some of the people, I'll give you an example, my brother Ayub. You take like the Kenya Airports Authority. The chair is a good man, he's well educated. Look at the list of the people who have been appointed to that list. They know nothing about civil aviation. It is basically an arrangement of friends, people who participate, and there's nothing wrong with rewarding the people who helped the government of KK Alliance to take over leadership in this country. But at some point, Deputy President Gachagua must know, and we have said this, and I'll say it in this studio, his words mean a lot, because he's not an ordinary Kenyan in the street. Right now, Kenyans are just fed up of this noise. The noise of you people are the ones who have been creating the mess in this country. You people are the ones who went and joined Uhuru. They never talk about how the former deputy president, who's now the president, Honorable William Ruto, was with Uhuru Kenyatta. The first 5 years they were together. So any of the mistakes that Uhuru was making, William Ruto must own up. And what we are saying is, it is unconscionable for the government to constantly keep talking about how we in the opposition are interested in things which don't even exist, how we want nusukate, how we want to negotiate to be given cabinet positions in this government. Those positions have been taken. PS positions have been taken. CS positions, the court has thrown out. There is no government that we are going to share with William Ruto. What we want to do is actually oversight this government with legitimacy and with fairness. In other words, we must begin to inculcate the culture of democracy in our country. This notion that the winner takes it all, yes, you can argue and say how it is the right of the KK Alliance to employ the people they want, they pick their friends, they do. That is okay if that is what you want. But what we are saying, this nation is actually bigger than any of us. Okay. This nation requires a semblance of normalcy. Schools function, money is sent to the schools. I mean, the Kenya Kwanza brothers we have here think that every morning we wake up, we are criticizing them. The things that, Honorable Soro, that you people are going to do that are positive, we will support you. All right? I have heard you say fertilizer is now coming to 2,500. I haven't verified that. We are going to check. The fertilizer you are saying that was being distributed, yes, you are the majority whip. You can get that fertilizer. How many MPs in Kisii have gotten that fertilizer? We don't know. We are going to vet you. This fertilizer is being stolen and being sold by officers from government. We know the stories which have come out. We know that. Since your government took over, look at the scandals that you guys have come up with. They are not less than 6. I mean, we are saying governing is much more complex than calling a press conference and ranting over it. Kenyans' emotions have been so high. People have died. People are being buried. Others are sick in the hospitals. What we are saying, a serious political leader in our country must be able. And that is why I say I give William Ruto a lot of credit. I agree with my brother here. The presidency is under siege. It is under state capture.
Okay.
There are individuals within the KK Alliance who are shocked that William Ruto is talking with Raila. But what is William Ruto's history? He was in ODM. He has been in KANU with Raila. He has been in government with Uhuru. All these people know each other. It's only us who pretend that these are strangers who have come from some world, and in fact, what is going to happen, they can kill each other. No.
Okay, Senator.
Let us be a people who are willing to talk with each other.
Your point noted, Senator.
Yes.
Senator, your point is noted. Well, talking about the history of Raila Ruto.
Yes.
Why then do they need a third party to mediate
Sometimes
between the two.
in discussions, you know, we are Africans, you are and me, all our brothers here. If you have a fight with your wife, don't you call the sister and say, can you talk to...
Not necessarily, depending on the...
But under normal circumstances, when two people are having a dispute,
okay,
and even if this dispute is very convoluted and very emotional, sometimes you need an interceder. And as far as I'm concerned, if there are people who feel that Obasanjo is not good enough, we really don't care. They can name who they want to come. Because the issues that you have, and the reason why I believe Obasanjo came, this is what he's been doing in all these African countries.
But the point is, Senator Wanyonk, can you
yes.
agree with me? This is not the first time we are having talks,
yes.
but of not such a degree.
Yes.
We had the Serena talks in 2008.
That is true.
And we had other sets of...
If you came from Europe and you came in an aeroplane and landed at the airport and picked the paper, would you take our political class to be a group of serious people?
You included...
Absolutely.
Okay.
We make fools of ourselves. We discuss issues that are irrelevant. We are not talking about how... look at the headlines today. Students who are supposed to go to the university, there's no money. You look at our hospitals, same. You go to the county governments, the same. Instead of people managing the affairs of state and managing affairs of county and making sure that the country is being managed well so that the country... We in the opposition, and I want to tell my brothers here, Honorable Methu, you know we've discussed this. Honestly speaking, we want the KK Alliance to succeed. We don't want the noise. You've seen the clip where there are so many of us put on that clip and everybody's talking. This is how our children are going to become the way the political class has become.
Thank you.
You now come to your house and find your 3 kids are quarreling and breaking things all over the place. What is it with us as the ruling class?
Okay,
and we can't sit down and agree on the very basic
Thank you.
to make sure the country... when you look at our political class, what is it that we are doing for the last 60 years? What has happened? When we were supposed to have sat down and come up with the strategies on how to take our country to the next level, whether it was from 1970s, 80s, and 90s, when you look at the governing structures which have been created in this republic, even when you look at the constitution that we adopted, instead of having good faith and coming up with a constitution that was going to look at our unique coexistence as a people, all right? And I've sat here and I've listened to us saying the Constitution actually says the winner takes it all. Is that a recipe for a country that is divided in terms of parochial, communal, and even personal interests in making sure that this country governs itself? The problem that we've been having in our country is that for the 60 years that we've been running this country as a political class, we have never been at peace with ourselves.
Thank you.
You can go historically, how many people have been assassinated. You can look at the 1982 coup. What was the reason behind it? I saw an article here today where one of the journalists is saying that the people who actually held that coup need to be apologetic and need to tell Kenyans that there was a mistake. I can tell you the truth. If you carry on the strategies of political supremacy and superiority against your people, then they will come back to what Malcolm X used to say, by any means necessary. They'll try. And look at what is happening in Africa. If the leadership elite in Africa doesn't stop pilfering public money, doesn't engage people, doesn't make sure that we deal with the issue of the youth, doesn't make sure that our socio-economic political arrangement is fair, we are going to have these military coups whether you like it or not.
Okay.
So my point, Ayub, is this. The presidency, that is William Ruto and Gachagua, must agree to come with a common strategy. That common strategy is, are we going to continue making noise and abusing each other in public where our children are looking at like fools? Or are we going to sit down and talk like adults in the room and make sure that our country moves forward, peacefully agreeing? We in the opposition, we have agreed, Honorable Soro, we have surrendered. We are in the opposition. We are going to vet you. In the next 2 years, we'll be here discussing and telling you, oh, you've stolen this one you stole last week, you have got payment for oil coming, it's going to be $1 trillion, let's wait and see where the money comes from. All those things, that's our